Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to everyone over on Chelsea Fan TV as well. And welcome to another live stream and your daily transfer update. Guys, I'm back after missing yesterday. Hope everyone's good. Make sure you smash the likes on the stream, subscribe to both channels if you haven't done so already. And as always, people, there is plenty to get into. Saudi Arabia could be doing a madness and helping Chelsea out big time with 3 to 4 players linked with big money moves to Saudi Arabia. Koulibaly, Mendy, Ziyech, Aubameyang. These guys could be helping us out big time. So we've got to be big up to the Saudi League. You know, I didn't think I'd ever be saying that, but they could be getting close to £1 million off our wage bill if all those players potentially leave. We've got the latest on Mark Cucurella. Pochettino reportedly could be happy to see him go. You know, that could be happening. Havertz close to joining Arsenal, could be £68 million all in, which would be an absolute result if we could get that money. Hakim Ziyech, as I say, close to joining Saudi Arabia. Chelsea reportedly out of the race for Andre Onana, surprisingly, as well as the club have also inquired for Harry Kane. We'll have the latest on Nicholas Jackson's move to Chelsea, as well as that nears closer. Pochettino keen to work with Armando Broja as well. So as always, guys, there is plenty of stuff to get into, as well as the future of Conor Gallagher, who's attracting interest from West Ham and Arsenal as well. But reportedly, those rumours of linking him with a move to Brighton are wide of the mark at this point in time. But big up everyone in the chat. Let's just get to a few things in the chat first before we get into it. Daniel, hi, thanks for tuning in, bro. Lee, big up, my guy. Jose, big up. I'm a feeling Havertz to Arsenal will turn out to be another mistake. I'm not so sure. 23-year-olds nowhere near his prime, but last 3 years Premier League experience. Yeah, but hasn't done anything for us. So I think we have to move away from this mindset of not selling players because they might do well elsewhere. The reality is he's not done well for us. If he does well elsewhere, so be it. But he's not delivered for us. No, they haven't done so yet, although they are going to pay a transfer fee for Ruben Neves, £47 million for the Wolves midfielder. He's going to fly out to the Middle East in the next few days to complete that move. KSA, man, big up. Zeti, how we doing? The man. What else have we got going on here? Yes, mate. Give Cucurella another year. Yeah, no, I agree on that. Although the money was right, I don't see why not. Don't get rid of Cucurella. Embarrassing. Yeah, look, I think so. I think we should keep him. Saudi helping us out with FFP. Yes, Saudi. Big up to the Saudi teams. They're helping us out big time. Ruben Neves. Yeah, it's absolutely mad. I mean, if he's got 1 year left on a contract, €55 million for Neves. Ziyech with 2 years left. Well, God knows what we can get. Yeah, that would be massive if we could get those guys out to Saudi. That would be a big help out for us. If we sell Kai, it would be top-notch stupidity. Absolutely not. I'm struggling to see why that would be stupid from us. You know, we've had Havertz here for 3 years now. How is it stupid for us to sell him when he's done absolutely nothing in those 3 years? You know, as I said earlier, we have to move away from this way of thinking where we're just like, oh, we better not sell this guy who's been shit for us and is showing no signs of being decent for us, but he could go and do something elsewhere. So we better just hold on to him, even though he offers absolutely nothing to Chelsea. So, you know, for me, yes, ideally you don't want to be selling to rivals, but at the end of the day, if it was sell to Arsenal, get £60+ million, or keep Kai Havertz, it's an absolute no-brainer to sell him. Plus, he's set on the Arsenal move now. He doesn't really want to be here anymore. It's not worked out for him. We have to move on. What happened to Chelsea getting Neymar? Nothing. The links were kind of like old links because Todd Boehly met Nasser El Khalifi, the PSG chairman, in February, and they had a discussion about Neymar amongst a long list of other topics. And now that Neymar's linked with moving away again from Paris, Chelsea's name gets thrown in the mix. But the reality is there's nothing concrete there at all. Yeah, I've seen that as well. Potential Lyon apparently need to raise some money, so they've got a few options: either sell players, sell the women's team, or sell another team that's associated with the club. J Arch, big up, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, of course they do. Gallagher to West Ham Spurs. Yeah, that's a possibility. But he's still 24. Yeah, but it's irrelevant how old he is. He's not doing the business for us. 3 years he's not done the business for us. So we have to move on. JP, big up. Some players are not made for Premier League. Yeah, there are some of those. It's true. Yes, big up Saudi. I like a Barella, Enzo Caicedo midfielder who can fund it. Barella's going to be very difficult to get out of Inter Milan. If Arsenal get Havertz and both Havertz and Rice, I might cry. Rice more so. Neves is not 26, is he? Is Neves 26? I thought Neves was like 30. How old's Ruben Neves? Someone in the chat find out how old Ruben Neves is. Do you think we'll end up signing a midfielder? Yeah, I think we'll get another one. I think we'll get two. No. This is why we got to stop doing this. We have to stop doing this. He's not been played out of position for the last 3 years. He's played every single position across the front line over the last 3 years. Multiple different managers, multiple different systems, and hasn't excelled or flourished in any of them. So it's absolutely not true that we haven't played him in his right position. Roman saying leaving Chelsea will have the same impact as Fergie leaving United. Let's wait and see. Hasn't been played in his position on that many occasions. No, but he's played in multiple other positions as well. Centre roles is always going to happen more and more. Exactly, yeah, 100%. Wow, that's mad. I didn't realise Ruben Neves was 26. This is when you've got to start worrying about the Saudi League, when they're starting to attract players in their prime. That's when it's a big one. Yeah, we had a 60 million bid turned down a few years ago, 26 years of age. Mad. That's actually mad. Why don't we offer Gallagher and 70 mil for Rice? Maybe, but again, like, regardless of the bid, yeah, Pulisic will go as well, doesn't want to be here. We've had the most embarrassing PLCs ever. Some still complain when we want to sell. Yeah, if Havertz leaves, I hope he goes to Bayern. Havertz not interested in a move to Bayern Munich. He wants to go to Arsenal. But yeah, people, let's get this show on the road now. I've got through a few bits in the chat. I'll continue to get through those as much as possible, guys. But let's get into the news then. So let's start with, where should we start? Let's start with the future of Conor Gallagher. Let's talk midfield. Let's have a quick look here. Newcastle and West Ham are in the race. Newcastle and West Ham are in the race to sign Conor Gallagher, and Chelsea are open to selling. He's not a priority for Brighton. That's fair enough. Makes sense. Chelsea open to selling. No problem with that. Ultimately, look, I do actually believe that Conor Gallagher could be a useful squad player for Chelsea, for sure. And we've got to be careful that we don't get rid of too many midfielders. I mean, look, if it's a case of, for a squad position, for a rotation position, if it's a case of keep Conor Gallagher or sell him and go and spend 40, 50 million pounds on another player just to do a similar role to him in the squad, then I think it would probably make more sense to keep Gallagher. I think Pochettino would like Gallagher. I think he likes his high work rate, his energy, his pressing. Look, he's obviously not done that well at Chelsea in terms of his output compared to when he was at Crystal Palace. Obviously, at Palace he was playing in the 10, so it was a bit easier. But Gallagher, look, he's going to be one of those where, because he's an academy player, it's going to be pure profit on the books, which is what Chelsea need. He's never been one to moan about his lack of playing time, but at his age, 22, 23 years old, he needs to be playing regular football if he's got ambitions to stay in the England squad, go to the Euros next summer. I'm not sure how regularly he's going to be at Chelsea, get minutes at Chelsea to kind of realise those ambitions that he's got. He's definitely replaceable. He's not like an amazing player or anything, but he would do a good job in the squad. But ultimately, if the money's good, 30, 40 million pounds, then I don't really see an issue with Conor Gallagher. And if he wants to be a starter, then unfortunately, that just isn't going to happen at Chelsea because he's not demonstrated that he's got the ability to start on a regular basis for the club as of yet. So we just have to wait and see what happens on that front. But yeah, I don't know. I think he's decent. But again, what sort of a fee do we think we can get? Because obviously Everton bid £45 million in January, well, 40 plus 5 million in add-ons. Let's wait and see what happens with Conor Gallagher. But I absolutely think we could easily get £40 million again. He's played more regularly. He's obviously slightly better than he was back then. So yeah, there's no reasons as to why we can't get that much money for him. And ultimately, I'd rather keep. I think Gallagher is good, but ultimately, if him going means that there's more opportunity for the likes of Casadei, Santos, Chukwuemeka, etc., then maybe that's something that we have to weigh up. And ultimately, I think a move away for Conor Gallagher from Stamford Bridge, whilst you want to try and keep players from the academy and have a core of players that know what it's like to play for the club, know what it means to play for the badge. Ultimately, it's a situation where he's not really good enough to make a difference. What have we got here? Agreed. I think Conor is good for rotation, but if we can get good money for him, then sell. Absolutely. Problem with is Gallagher wants to be a starter. Yeah. I think more of the reason we're looking to move him on, perhaps that slightly, but more financials as well. Gallagher has no place in the Chelsea squad. I think as a rotation he does. Hudson-Odoi, I think, is going to leave this summer. I don't know what the exact ins and outs are, but I'd be very surprised if he was part of the Chelsea setup next season. I think the club will look to move him on. I don't know how many years are left on that 5-year deal. Can't be many. So yeah, I think the club will look to sell Callum Hudson-Odoi. I don't know how much we'll get for him. KSA man saying 35 million for Gallagher, 35 to 45. Yeah, agreed on this. Anything over 40 for sure. I would say 50 quid. Fair. I think we're probably going to want a bit more than 50 quid. I'm not sure if 50 quid's going to help out on the old FFP. No, agreed. He absolutely is a rotation piece. Want Vlahovic, he'll get into centre forward shortly. But yeah, guys, Conor Gallagher's future looks like that could be getting sorted out some point soon. There's no way, that Chelsea can say no to the sort of money that we could get for Conor Gallagher. I think it's clear that we're looking to sell players. We're looking for a squad clear out. Now, whilst Gallagher's clearly not top of that list of players that need to go, if the suitable offer came in for him, then I think it makes sense all rounds for him to go. Havertz would always do better at Arsenal, but nothing special. Yeah, look, ultimately, I think we have to, as I said, we have to kind of, just because we can't have this fear and keep players that have not produced for Chelsea for a number of years and not sell them to another club because they might go and be good there. The reality is they're not good at our football club. You don't want to keep players that aren't good and aren't producing at Chelsea just because they could go and be good somewhere else. If Havertz goes and be good at Arsenal, that it is what it is. Hasn't produced for Chelsea. So it's as simple as that in my book. Nah, we'll finish in the top 5 next season. I think we will. I really do believe that. I really do believe we'll finish top 5. Newcastle want Maddison, so West Ham clear favourites. Yeah, but Newcastle could easily get Gallagher as well. Yeah, it looks set to be a busy week for sure. Richo 63 evening. What else have we got here? Can't see Arsenal doing anything until they have Rice over the line. Yeah, potentially. Fabrizio saying on the Havertz thing that it should be 100% people have mentioned that it could be another KDB Salah, but Havertz has 3 years to try and be consistently good. He has, and he's had way more opportunities than De Bruyne or Salah had as well. And plus, with De Bruyne and Salah, again, they showed nothing to suggest that they'd be any good at Chelsea. And also, it took them they went away for a number of years to Serie A, for in Salah's case, Fiorentina and Roma. De Bruyne went out to the Bundesliga at Wolfsburg before kind of developing into top players. But ultimately, you can say Chelsea made a mistake selling them, but they didn't show anything at Chelsea to suggest that they were going to be the players that they've turned out to be. So it is what it is. Even if Havertz do good at Arsenal, so be it. Exactly. Agreed. Evening, big up. If we sell the bulk of our squad for 10, 15 million and get fees ranging, yeah, I agree. We would do well with that. Evening, mate. With Nkunku coming in and Havertz and Mount leaving, we don't really have other options in the centre cam position. Yeah, no, we're going to go and buy players. Obviously, Nicholas Jackson coming in can be one of those options. There are plenty of options, people. So, whilst the options might not be there right now, there will certainly be options. No two ways about it. There will be options. 2023. I'm not sure what that's referring to. I don't know what to think about Havertz. What's your opinion? My opinion is that he's not been good enough for Chelsea. Over 3 years, he's done nothing on a consistent basis apart from getting us the winning goal in Porto and scoring a penalty in the Club World Cup final. In terms of actual consistency, good performances week in, week out, doing what he was brought in to do, he hasn't done it. It's time to move on. Simple as that. And we're at a point now where he's got 2 years left on his contract. And under the new ownership, if you've got 2 years left on the contract and you don't want to stay, you're being sold. And that's where we are. With Havertz, we won't even notice he's gone. We gave him so many chances. Polo Sherry, big up my guy. Yeah, I'm back. Missed yesterday with the wedding, but I'm back in the mix tonight, guys. So I appreciate you all joining in. Would you be open to keeping Havertz to be played as a 10? No. No, I don't think so. No, I think we're better off cashing in while we can because he doesn't want to sign. He doesn't want to sign a new contract. So we need to cash him while we can rather than losing for free or get even less money for him next summer when he's got 1 year left on the contract. What's happened with Cucurella? I'll get onto that shortly. Really interested to see Saudi transfer fees for players they want from us, considering Neves was 50 mil with 1 year left on the contract. Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how that one works out. Fan base is scared that we're selling players to the rivals, and I worry they end up being good. Yeah, but they've not been good here, so that's the way you have to look at it. And Nkunku's going to be announced after these international matches are finished. So they finished today, the last round of matches. So Nkunku should be announced next week. Obviously, I don't know if we're waiting to confirm. In terms of announcement, you probably get a statement on the club website, but in terms of kind of Nkunku being unveiled, pictures with the shirt and stuff, because we've not got a shirt for next season, we haven't got a sponsorship. I don't know if Chelsea will do any pictures of Nkunku with the current shirt. Obviously, the 3 deal expires at the end of the month. Will they do pictures with the shirt from last season just gone? I'm not sure. I don't really know. So we've got that. Nkunku next week announcement for sure. What else we got? Who's your candidate for captain and vice captain next season if Aspie leaves and Silva isn't starting? Probably I'll give Reece James the vice captain job. As you fair, Silva, if Silva's captain, Kepa would be vice captain probably. But for me, I'd probably have Reece James in there as captain. That would be my choice. Problem is the man doesn't want to stay. Agreed. And Nkunku announcement next week. I still believe we should keep Mount. We should keep Mount. I agree we should keep Mount. Opinion on Nicholas Jackson. I think exciting. The kind of sign that we should be going for. Young, hungry, wants to do well, wants to be at the club. Looks a decent player. An eye for goal. Looks technically quite good. Good finisher. Why not? Let's wait and see what happens on it. But I think it's an exciting signing for sure. This Havertz stuff. We're supposed to be the main players. Only person that needs to leave is Todd. They're not going anywhere for 10 years minimum. So basically, with the shirt sponsor, the issue is obviously the 3 deal runs out at the end of this month. We have a 3-year contract with them. We're not renewing with them. Obviously, the club have been looking for a new shirt sponsor. A deal with a crypto firm fell through last minute because we didn't qualify for the Champions League, so they pulled out. We're then looking for other deals. Obviously, this controversial one with Stake, who's like an online casino. That's the reason why that's been controversial is because obviously, one, for Muslims, gambling is illegal, so it alienates a large part kind of the fan base. Obviously, we held an open iftar at the club as well, so it makes a little bit of a mockery of that decision. And no top 6 clubs ever had a gambling sponsor. So yes, it was about 40 million pounds a season, and I can look from a financial perspective. I totally get it. From a morality perspective, it's wrong. Doesn't sit right. The Chelsea Supporters Trust have made clear their feelings to the club on that. So I guess we're just waiting to see what notice and what action they take from the Supporters Trust information that gets given to the board, and then we'll go from there. But that Stake are in pole position, but I don't know what they're going to be like. Yeah, bring back Samson. I'd be well up for that. Same with rather Chilwell and Hall. One of the players coming back for pre-season. I'm not sure. The first game of the pre-season tour, I think it's July 15th or July 19th. One of those two. We play Wrexham over in the States. So I imagine we'd head out the week before then to play. 68 million. No, well, that's the report. That's the report. That's all in though. All in. How do you think Havertz will do at Arsenal? I'm not really too sure. I don't know where he's going to play either because Odegaard's going to be in the 10 role. Maybe he rotates with Jesus as a 9. Maybe he rotates with Odegaard in the 10 position. I don't really know how he's going to do. Yeah, they do have ridiculous money, but it's not about the money. It's about the morality of it, and it doesn't sit right with a lot of Chelsea supporters. But yeah, what else have we got going on for people? Let's move away from Conor Gallagher's future. By the way, people, let's keep smashing the likes. Get the likes up, guys. Got over 60 of you watching on my channel. Only 21 likes, people. So get those likes up. Keep smashing the likes. Just hover over that thumb button. Give it a little click. And it massively helps me out. It spreads the stream far and wide. Gets more people in. So, guys, on my channel and both channels, make sure you run the likes up. Please do that. It massively helps us out. So yeah, click the likes. Let's run it up. Try and get mine to at least 50 likes, guys. Let's get Chelsea Fan TV to 100 likes and beyond. Let's keep it going, people. We're doing a good job so far. But yeah, guys, let's move away from this. What have we got here? Any midfielder to be signed apart from Caicedo? Potentially someone like maybe Lavia, maybe Amadou Onana from Everton, possibly, maybe Manu Kone, maybe Kefram Turam, someone along those lines. What I know as a fan, if a player wishes to go, let him go. 100%. I'm from the US. I've got my tickets for the matches this summer. I'm very excited, mate. I'm excited for you. I'd love to come over and go to a few games. Can get tickets. It's just obviously the expensive cost of getting out to the States. Let's wait and see. No, and also with the kids' shirts as well, because of gambling and the rules, you can't have the sponsor on the shirts. If for any kids' shirts, it would just be a blank shirt because you can't have the sponsorship on there. Stake is offering 40 million. No, it's not just that. It's not. It really isn't. Yes, financially it makes sense, but the rest of it doesn't make sense. How the hell is Nicholas Jackson? Chelsea need a top forward, not another young player. No, but look, Chelsea will still go for a top centre forward. I think this is not going to be our main signing. What happens if you don't comply with FFP rules? Well, it depends on the severity. Can be could be a points penalty, a ban from certain competitions, but it won't come to that. Cucurella to Newcastle would be a Christmas come early. Fair. Let's move away from this Conor Gallagher stuff, guys, and let's get into some news. Let's quickly discuss Nicholas Jackson whilst we're at it, because I know there's a few people in the chat that don't seem particularly happy about this deal. For me, I've got no issue with it. I think it works well. Again, as I said on Saturday night when the news broke, it's low risk, high reward. That's the way that you've got to look at it. So obviously it should be wrapped up next week. So Chelsea have a long-term contract ready, not a regular 5-year contract, a very long-term contract, according to Fabrizio. So obviously we're going to bid the release clause, £29.8 million. That comes to, and are we going to pay it all in one go? We're going to pay it in installments. I'm not sure. Obviously, we're negotiating that with Villarreal. Jackson wants to move. There was interest from other clubs, which is why Chelsea have moved quickly to get this deal done. I think it says further down, Leipzig and Milan wanted Jackson. Chelsea had to be fast. So we've moved quickly on this one, which is a good thing. The personal terms are all sorted. He's committed to the club. He's going to sign a long-term contract next week. And this deal should be finalised and confirmed next week. And on not Andre Jackson, sorry, on Nicholas Jackson, look, I think it's exciting. I think it's a great signing. And people are kind of slagging this signing off because, not heard of him. I haven't really watched him play very much. You get the Chelsea fan base opposite ends of the spectrum. Some people are like, he's going to be the second coming of Drogba, and then others are like, this guy's terrible without even watching him play. I get it with a centre forward with attacking signings. You want kind of maybe a big name, you want some excitement, etc. But ultimately, we've gone down the big name route. It hasn't worked. So why not try a data-driven approach? Why not give this guy a chance, see how he does? Look, as I said, he's 21 years of age. There's a high ceiling there. There's a lot of potential. Let's wait and see what happens in kind of with him, with his development. We don't really know how it's gonna go. But I just think it's. It makes sense. It makes sense for me. There's no way Chelsea would be signing him if they didn't see something in this guy. By the way, Nick, big up my guy. People do what Nick says. Smash the likes, both channels. You know what to do, guys. You know what to do. Over 260 of us locked in across both channels. Let's get these likes up. And guys, subscribe to both channels if you haven't done so already. I will obviously pop the links for both channels into the description, guys, and make sure you subscribe and show both channels some love. But Jackson wouldn't have been signed if Chelsea didn't see something in him. That's what I mean. There's obviously something there. The data is obviously showing us something. So let's do it. Obviously, he goes in January to AFCON, which could be a problem. He's Senegalese. They tend to do pretty well. So we're probably going to want some more cover there. I think we will get cover there. No two ways about it. We absolutely will. Guys, both links for both channels are now in the chat. So if you're locked in, you're not subscribed to either channel, make sure you do so, people. Right, what have we got? What have we got being said in the chat on Jackson? Where are we? With Jackson coming from nowhere, I would say we're going to use Broja in the Caicedo deal. Broja, again, on this, Fabrizio Romano reporting this morning that as of now, there are no talks between Brighton and Chelsea. No suggestion of Armando Broja being discussed in the Brighton and Chelsea discussions over Moises Caicedo. Jackson is no better than Broja, to be honest. Again, I don't know where we're getting these ideas from. Look, it's two young players. It's impossible to tell. Jackson's got ability, the scouting, etc. The data, the numbers are obviously saying this guy's a good player. We've got good people in charge of the football club making these decisions. So ultimately, if the numbers are coming back positive, everything they're looking at is coming back positive, the scouting, watching him, the eye test and all that sort of thing, then there's no reason why this isn't a good deal. Plus, as I said, low risk, high reward. Even in 2 to 3 years' time, he'll be 24 years old. Even if it hasn't worked out, you'd imagine you could still turn a profit on Nicholas Jackson. So I think this has got very few negatives and a lot of positives, this deal. Badiashile, Madueke, Jackson, those are the best signings under 40 million euros. All of them? Absolutely. Who had heard of Drogba? Exactly. This is my thing. Like, people are like, oh, well, how good's this guy? I never heard of him. Just because you've not heard of a player doesn't mean they're not good. Yes, he almost joined Bournemouth in January, failed a medical with a hamstring issue. But it's just because I hear people say, oh, well, why are we signing someone that was going to go and join Bournemouth? Like, it's the same people that will say, like, it's mad, isn't it? Because Chelsea are signing this guy. It's like, well, why are we doing that? But this would be lauded as amazing business if it was a Brighton or a Brentford or Bournemouth or someone signing this player. You'd be like, oh, why? And they go in and do really well. Why didn't Chelsea get involved in that? So we're going down this route. We've tried the expensive strikers, the expensive attackers. Hasn't really worked out. Why not give the data-driven approach a chance? As Datro will go out on loan. The plan for Fofana is for him to go out on loan to a European league. So that is the plan on that one. So Datro Fofana will be going on loan next season. What else have we got in the chat? For me, Chelsea should change the narrative of buying expensive when it comes on selling, sell on low amount. Oh, and look, we need to get as much money as we can. He's amazing form as well. I think he got 12 goals in 26 appearances last season in La Liga. His goals, like in the last 8 or 9 games of the season, all came when he was starting at centre forward. Earlier in the season, he wasn't starting; he was mainly being used as a sub, and he was playing off the flank. What we got here? I've done that. We need more experienced players. Yeah, I understand we need experience for sure. No two ways about it. We absolutely do need experience, but at the same time, experience is not just age. Experience is like your amount of games you've played, the big moments you've been involved in. So you can. I'm not saying Nicholas Jackson's the most experienced player by any shout, but what I am saying is that just because you're 21, 22 doesn't mean you can't be experienced. If you've been playing first team football since 18, 19, you might have 3 or 4 seasons under your belt. That's decent experience. So age doesn't equal experience. Is the point that I'm trying to make. We need to know probably who will be the new number 1 goalkeeper if Mendy's leaving. Well, Mendy wasn't the number 1 goalkeeper anyway. But yeah, I'll get onto goalkeepers shortly. Big money players haven't performed, and plus Jackson is passionate and wants to play for Chelsea only. Agreed on that. In regards to Jackson, do you think we need another striker to use AFCON? Look, I'd be shocked if Jackson was the only signing that we would make, but you do never know. You do never know. But I would expect another signing to come. Absolutely. Jackson may be good in the Liga, but I have no idea how he would do in the Prem. Everyone who comes from a different league into the Prem always seems to struggle. Not always. You've got very good success rate from France and Portugal. Look, let's wait and see what happens. Let's give the kid a chance, though. We've got no idea how he's going to do. Hardly any of us have really watched him in great detail. Let's get behind the kid. Let's back it and let's see what happens. And for me, I think it's as simple as that. This will be confirmed next week. Chelsea really building a young futures team with Poch. This could be a dynasty. It could be iconic. It could be dynasty times ahead. But let's not get too carried away of ourselves. But it looks like we are building something really special, getting some great deals done for some of the top young talent across Europe. Now's the hard part. We've got to put it all together. We've got to get an identity on the pitch, a style of play. Pochettino's has got a big task on his hands. But look, we are signing some top young talent, and now it's up to the manager to develop it and mould us into a top side that can challenge for those trophies. Drogba did AFCON also, he did. What we're going to do with Broja, Datro Fofana, and Datro's going to go on loan. And I imagine Broja and Jackson will be part of the first team squad. Yeah, look, I think he's obviously had a hamstring issue last season. I haven't looked at his extensive injury history, but look, I think we were doing our due diligence there and checking that out. Our scouts have been scouting him for a while, so I'll trust him. Yeah, absolutely. Broja is most likely to be part of the Castilla. That's currently not true, but things could change. Where did you lot get your prices from Arsenal? No, £68 million all in is what's being reported, so including add-ons. It's not going to be £68 million up front. So total value of the deal could be worth £68 million if all add-ons are hit, is what's being said. Jackson could be our hidden gem. We'd rather pay low now than 1 year later he scores loads of goals. Exactly. We could have a breakthrough season next season in La Liga and suddenly he'd be worth £50-60 million. And then you're thinking, well, we could have signed this guy for half the price a year ago, but we didn't. So that's the point. People complaining about the Jackson deal are the same ones moaning about the likes of Lukaku, Morata, and Kesman flopping at the club. Yeah, to be honest, Chelsea are not good at getting the right players, and we have wasted so much money. This data idea is crazy. Start running Chelsea the right way. No, this is the way that every top club does things. It's data-driven recruitment. Brighton are the best at it. Brighton are phenomenal at unearthing players from nowhere that turn into top players because of their data-driven approach. This idea that top teams aren't doing a data-driven approach is nonsense. They are. This is why we've moved to this approach, because it's the right way to go. The recruitment under Roman the last few years was shocking. I don't know what we're doing. We just looked at shiny objects. Who's scoring loads of goals right now? Lukaku, let's get him. Who's a bright prospect in Europe? Let's get Kai Havertz. No thought or anything going into it. What have we got here? Kai Havertz has made it very clear again this morning in new contacts he wants to join Arsenal. Yep, all good. Also, I would say Jackson, don't expect too much. Yeah, exactly, for sure. I'm happily Nicholas is in. We continue expecting more like Gabri, Muani, Romeo, Lavia, Caicedo. Gabri is a possibility, Gabri Vega. Both will be in the squad. It's a tough one. For me, I really like Badia Shield. I'd probably go with him. But again, Colwell's a top talent. Let's wait and see what happens there. It's amazing business for teams like Brighton going by these players because they have the time to develop them. Big Six need players who will make an... No, I absolutely get that. I do get that. First season for Drogba. Mark my words. Poch will cook with Nkunku and Jackson. Let's hope so. And he's got a great name for a chant, whether it's like Outcast, sorry, Miss Jackson, or something. Someone needs to come up with a creative chant around the Outcast song. What else have we got? I'm going to Liverpool home. Mate, I'll be there as well. Let me know. Give me a shout. What else we got? Let all Chelsea fans have faith in the new way the new owners are running the club. Absolutely. We've got to stop writing things off so quickly. Broja is fit and ready to cause damage. Let's hope so. I expect we still have another striker in mind too, not a kid. Yeah, I think so as well. Believe Broja is going to be crazy good. I think Broja is excited. I watched him a few times last season when I was at Brentford away. He looked half decent. So yeah, look, he scored a good goal at home to Wolves. It's obviously unfortunate to pick the injury up. It'd be interesting to see what form he's in when he gets back to it. Realistically, with us not playing any European games, there's no way we will be able to play an experienced number 9. I don't know. I think there definitely is. I think there's opportunities too. I signed Osimhen before he smashes loads of goals in. I wouldn't say he was cheap. It'll be best part of 120, 130 million euros. Jackson looks good in highlights, good on the ball, and can use both feet. Yeah, I think he's worth the investment for sure. As I said, low risk, high reward type signing, which you can't really go too wrong. I think ultimately, even if it didn't work out, we'd still turn a profit, and it's kind of a win-win situation. But yes, Nicholas Jackson will sign a long-term contract with Chelsea next week. You'd maybe imagine an official announcement towards the end of next week that this deal is done. But yeah, Nicholas Jackson will be a Chelsea player. It will be the first summer signing under Mauricio Pochettino. And I feel confident saying that, even though last time I said it with Agate, it turned out not to be true. So this time, with Nicholas Jackson, let's hope so. Let's hope so. But yeah, that is the latest on Nicholas Jackson, people. Let's move on to talk about Saudi Arabia, because they're going to be helping us out big time. I don't think any one of us thought that Saudi Arabia would be helping Chelsea out by potentially taking a load of players off our hands and reducing our wage bill. But You know, life's strange. This season's been strange. The Saudi League are doing a madness. They're here to stay. And let's start with the future of Hakim Ziyech. So, Santi Aouna, I think, Al Nassr proposal to Ziyech is 12 to 13 million euros net salary. So double his salary at Chelsea, where he earns 6 million a year. Negotiations are advanced, as reported 2 weeks ago. Ziyech is interested in joining Saudi. Al Nassr's president is in London to talk with Chelsea. So when you remember last week or the week before, whenever it was, when obviously Todd was out in Saudi talking about various things, and people are like, oh, what's he doing out there? Why is he out there? Well, maybe this is why. Getting deals for players that we don't want, get them to Saudi where we can get the most money for them. So people having a go at Bowley, let's just wait and see till everything comes out. It's clear that Bowley was over there for a reason, and it looks like the reason was trying to offload a load of our shite players that we don't want anymore to the Saudi league. And look, Hakim Ziyech is a strange one, Ziyech, because it just hasn't worked out. It's mad how it hasn't worked out, because guys in the chat, let me know your thoughts. Were you excited when we signed Ziyech? After he was balling out for Ajax in that season, Lampard really wanted him. You thought, oh, this guy's a great footballer, could be really good for us. There was a few flashes here and there, but ultimately, look, obviously got that great goal against Spurs, top bins a couple of seasons ago. But in reality, it's not been a success at all. And it's another attacking sign that you can put down as a bit of a failure at Chelsea, which is a shame, because he should be you can't keep signing attacking players that aren't doing well. But ultimately, yeah, I think this works best for both parties. I mean, it just goes to show how much Ziyech's stock has fallen, that there doesn't really seem to be any takers for him in Europe at all, which is kind of mad, because he's still got something to offer. You saw what he does, what he was doing for Morocco in the World Cup. He was outstanding there. But maybe again for Morocco, he's the main guy. Everything goes through him. He's far more involved. Maybe he prefers that. And a move to Saudi Arabia, whilst the level of football is much lower, obviously religious reasons. It's whether the money's going to make a difference. Of course it is. But when you're making as much money, as Hakim Ziyech would have made throughout his career, does it really matter that much? Not really. But again, a lower standard of football. But he would go and be a big fish, sort of in a small pond over in Saudi Arabia. The chance to play with Cristiano Ronaldo as well, kind of mad. Who would have ever thought that Cristiano Ronaldo and Hakim Ziyech would be playing their club football together? That is kind of mad. But it looks like the Saudi thing is moving along at a steady pace here. Ziyech, I think, will go to Saudi Arabia. Let's see what people have been saying in the chat about Hakim Ziyech. What we've got here, let's hope Poch can bring energy to the team, and hopefully we'll have a good season with Jackson. Let's hope so. What have we got? How much will Saudi pay for each player there? This is the big question, because as of thus far, Saudi have only been signing free transfers. They have just paid, or about to pay, their first transfer fee, which is £47 million for Ruben Neves to Al Hilal, with 1 year left on his contract. So it looks like they probably have got money to spend. Again, let's wait and see what sort of fee we can get. But I'd like to think that Chelsea, that if we're basing it off that, we should be, with Ziyech with 2 years left on a contract, Chelsea should be able to get at least 30, 35 million pounds for Hakim Ziyech, which would be best part of our money back. Out of all the signs in 2020, who do you think has been the best, just worst? Werner and Havertz were both shite. I mean, Ziyech was shite as well. It's really tough. I mean, they were all shit. Yeah, I've enjoyed that one. That was good. I like that. Got a lot of time for that. Hakim Ziyech was so good at Ajax. Yeah, standards. Polish J. I was more than excited. It was my favourite non-Chelsea footballer before he joined, so you can probably imagine my excitement at the time. Absolutely. But like so many, Saudi Arabia buying up all the players. Yeah, mate, all eyes are going to be on the Saudi league. I can't lie. I'll probably take a bit more of a vested interest in the Saudi league now that they've got a few more players over there. But this is the madness of football. Who would have thought that the Saudi Arabian Pro League would be doing Chelsea a massive favour by potentially taking a load of our dead wood off our books? It's actually kind of mad how football works out. Automatically became my Chelsea player as well. Really a shame it all went to shambles. Yeah, no one better as a better left foot than Ziyech. So Ziyech's got a great delivery, he does, but He just looks lazy. Work rate's not there. And again, maybe just didn't particularly seem too suited to the Premier League. It's another one of those signings that, you get really excited about. But the reality of the situation is it just wasn't really, I don't want to say he wasn't good enough, because at the time, it was a great signing. But it just hasn't worked out. He's not kicked on. 55 million euros, so 47 million pounds once you obviously convert it. How much? I don't know. There's not been anything said, but I would think anywhere between 30 to 40 million pounds. Chelsea have got to be looking at something along those lines. Reminded me when China randomly, yes, but the difference here is that Saudi Arabia have got a lot more money than China. They're dead serious about this. They're attracting top players. They're starting to attract players in their prime now, which is what China never did. So this looks far more set in stone and set to stay than obviously the Chinese Super League. I think this could be, they are desperate to make the Saudi League a force in years to come. So yeah, a lot of time for what? I'm not really sure what we're referring to here. I'm so worried about our midfield after offload. Apart from Enzo, we don't have any other creative midfielder left in our team. Look, we're going to look to sign players that we've got youngsters in Casadei, Santos and Chukwuemeka. Caicedo hopefully will come in next week, or that deal will get a lot closer to being done in the next week. So it's going to be a very busy week at Chelsea. Then you're looking at someone maybe like Romeo Lavia, maybe Kefren Turam, Manu Kone, Amadou Onana potentially. Let's look into it. Ziyech never fit our system, but the thing with Ziyech is, right, we had to play him on wide in a 4-3-3. The times that we played that 4-2-2 system under Tuchel, he looked really good there. He looks a lot more comfortable as a wide player, and I mean proper wide, kind of like touchline winger, hugging the touchline sort of thing. And that's where he looked at his best. And when we played that system in a few games, he looked really good. So yeah, unfortunately, we don't really seem to be operating that system. It's not worked out for him at Chelsea. He's probably on half decent wages. That's 6 million off the wage bill per year. So yeah, I think it's best for all parties. And Ziyech doesn't want to be here. He was about to join PSG on loan. Obviously, that went to shit. He's clearly fuming about that at the time as well. So yeah, it's best for all parties involved that Hakim Ziyech moves on this summer. And it looks like he could be joining up with Cristiano Ronaldo at Al Nassr to form. So I don't know what they're going to form. Some sort of a mad link up there potentially. Saudis have unlimited money and just want bigger names and players to draw interest. I think one thing with Saudi Arabia is once they set their sights on doing something, they will do it. Ziyech would suit Spain or slow football. Yeah, or Saudi, I think, is pretty slow football. Time is going so quick, but I do think we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Worried about midfield. Why? We'll get Caicedo, maybe Barella, and Conor Gallagher is so underrated. He's better than Gallagher and Mount. I don't know if he's better than Mount, but yeah, look, he's underrated for sure. Let's wait and see what happens. But yeah, what is the status? So update with Moises Caicedo briefly then is that Chelsea are very advanced on the players' side with personal terms. They're going to launch their first bid for Caicedo next week, and then negotiations will obviously intensify with Brighton as we look to negotiate a fee, maybe 70 million plus 10, 80 million pounds. Again, the fee's going to be the difficult part to do. We've got buy-in from the player side. Personal terms are all but agreed. Just got to agree a fee now. And Chelsea's first bid for Caicedo will go in. So yeah, this is going to be a big week to see how that advances. But that's exactly where we're at right now. I've watched half a dozen Saudi games. Good fun. Yeah, look, I think I will watch a bit more of the Saudi League, as I said. Chelsea willing to pay 70 for Caicedo. Brighton wanting 80 to 90. Yeah, maybe we can. Yeah, look, it's going to be tough negotiations. No two ways about it. But yeah, looks like Hakim Ziyech could be joining Cristiano Ronaldo out in Al Nassr, which would be kind of mad. It would be kind of mad. No two ways about it. But let's move on to some more Saudi Arabia news, because it looks like as well there are offers on the table for Kalidou Koulibaly and Edouard Mendy as well. So Koulibaly and Mendy's agent Fali Ramadani is expected to bring official proposals from Saudi clubs for both players. Now, seems kind of mad, doesn't it? You know, what else have we got here? Let me just get to a few bits in the chat. With all the high wage players leaving, could that free up money for a new contract offer from Mount? Yeah, potentially. But I don't know if that was the reason there's not been offered a new contract in the first place, because you know I don't think there's not enough money. You know, I don't think that's the case at all. But maybe let's wait and see. What about number 9 position? Yeah, the number 9 position is obviously we signed Jackson, but yeah, we still got more to do. The Taro Martinez potentially being linked with the club as well. Let's wait and see what happens. But I'd be shocked if Jackson was the only Chelsea signing in kind of the attacking or the centre forward department this summer. I think we do need more than that. We do need a bit more of a main man. Look, Santos, as I said many times, the 3 youngsters, Chukwuemeka, Santos, and Casadei, will have an opportunity to impress in pre-season. We'll then evaluate how they've done in pre-season, and then it will be decided what course of action will be taken with them. It's believed that 2 of those 3 will go on loan, but depending on incomings, depending on outgoings, it could be less. Let's wait and see. We need a creative midfielder. We don't have one at the moment. That's fair. Who would you go for goalkeeper-wise now we are out of an Onana race? I'll take the being out of the Onana race potentially with a pinch of salt. But yeah, I'll get into that shortly. Send Koulibaly to the moon or Saudi. What's mad is that every year Koulibaly was so sought after at Napoli, gets the move to Chelsea, doesn't particularly have the best season. He's still 31 years of age, and yet, he could be going to Saudi Arabia. That's kind of mad. And it goes to show that, A, money talks, and B, I mean, the fucking whatever it is, the presentation or the talk to convince them to join must be phenomenal. It must be ridiculous. It really must be ridiculous, how they convince them to join. It really must be. Mendy needs to secure the bag. Mendy's still quite young for a goalkeeper, though. But if Mendy wants to go and secure the bag, fair play. But yeah, I mean, Koulibaly and Mendy look like they could have offers from Saudi. Yeah, if we can offload them to Saudi, absolutely. I fully agree. Mount, Lavia, Kasim, you mean Caicedo, Amrabat to Man United? No, I don't think so. You want the Georgian keeper from Valencia? Yeah, again, Chelsea have looked at him, they've scouted him, but no real concrete links with him as of yet. That's what's being said. No real concrete links, really. Too late in Koulibaly's career for a PR. I don't think 31's too late. I think it's just been a bit more difficult to get for him to adapt to the Premier League. Look, it's tricky now because we're not playing a back, because we're unlikely to play a back 3. You don't really see where he fits in. He's going to get ahead of Fofana, Badiashile, and Colwell. Probably not. I know you've run into Top Bailey a few times. No, I wish. No, I've bumped into Todd a few times after games. So he's a very nice guy, very pleasant with his time. But no, I haven't got him on the contact list. Maybe if I meet him next season, I'll see if he fancies taking my number. But no, I don't have his number. Too many outgoings and less incomings. That was the way it was always going to be, though. We knew the incomings were really important, but the outgoings equally as important as well. No 2 ways about it in my mind. No. What else have we got going on in the chat? Let Colwell play. Can replace Koulibaly. We're going to have 5 centre backs. We only need 1. Chelsea won't let Koulibaly leave on loan. They won't sanction a loan deal because they'll be forking out most of the money for it. That's the issue with it. Enzo was not forced to push up. No, Enzo couldn't push up because we had no one else to play the defensive midfield role. I think on goalkeeper positions now, time to start including Salina in some of the games. A bit too soon for him. I think he'll go out on loan somewhere. Unai Simon. He's a Spanish number 1. I actually forget where he plays now. Top Bowley legend at Chelsea. Look, I think, Bowley, there's been a lot of criticism of Bowley and the ownership. They've made mistakes, but I think the intentions are there, and I think they will get it right. Ultimately, you don't spend this much money on a football club and not want to succeed and not want to get it right. So they will get it right. It just might take a little bit of time. What else is going on in the chat? If you can offload to Koulibaly to Saudi, that's a result. Absolutely. This is a bit out of the world, but I'd love Kimmich at Chelsea. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of teams would love Joshua Kimmich, but ultimately, I don't think he's going anywhere. I watched Koulibaly. He's dropped a lot physically. He didn't come up to us in shape. Saudis can't come soon enough. Again, he's got to buy into it, though. It's all very well the Saudis putting proposals together. They've got to get buy-in from Koulibaly, otherwise it's a no-go. Bilbao. Really like Koulibaly. I don't know why he doesn't perform. Look, that's really embarrassing. I hope no one saw that. I just tried to have a bit of my drink with the lid still on the top. Fuck's sake. Look, he's been here 1 season. He had some good games, some good moments. He's picked up a few injuries, made a few mistakes as well. Look, in an ideal one, I'd say he probably deserves another chance. But with 6 centre backs and him on high wages, those minutes are going to be limited. So if we can move him on, it would absolutely make sense to do so. Do I trust Jackson as our main centre forward next season? Look, I haven't watched enough of the kid to say whether I trust him or not. Look, ideally, as at this point in time right now, I'd be concerned if he was our only forward signing. So I guess I'd have to say no. I think we do need one more. No fair, no, because they're not part of UEFA, are they? So I think it's under a different legislation. Yeah, I don't look. The attendances aren't great, but look, I think they're governed by their own rules, so they can kind of just do. I guess they just do whatever they want, really. I have a great subject for what formation are we playing next season. I think it's going to be a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3. But yeah, that kind of rounds out the Saudi section, guys. It looks like, guys, we need to also understand. Yeah, this is the thing. This is why I hate doing it. I hate writing players off, or when people write players off after one season. There's no reason why. Look, sometimes it takes a year to adapt. You look at Pep Guardiola's teams. Most players that sign for City take a year to settle in, and they're not particularly that good rate in their first season. There's no reason why. Koulibaly can't go on and do very well for Chelsea. I just don't know where his minutes are. But yeah, I agree. You shouldn't be writing players off after one season. They definitely deserve more of a chance. I don't think we're going to be able to sign even half of the players we want this year. Look, this next 2 weeks is going to be huge. It's going to be huge in terms of up to the end of this month, because a lot of work does need to be done. A lot of business needs to be carried out. But I think we can hold. I think we need to hold fire. I think we need to hold fire and not get too annoyed yet. Next week, Fabrizio was saying, it's massive. It's massive. It really is, because we've got a lot of stuff that needs to get done. So next week is going to be big, guys, in terms of Chelsea. It's going to be big news. It's going to be a big week for the club. American billionaires don't care about it. This is what people don't understand. They just chat nonsense. If you're a billionaire, you don't spend 4 billion to not care about how the team does. Just have a think about what you're saying. That just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. Koulibaly is a year older now. Physically can't. I don't think he physically can't cope. I just think the adjustment's going to be a bit longer for him. Look, I'm not a massive fan of Raheem Sterling, but I'm not going to write him off after one season. He has to improve big time next season. Has to improve big time. Koulibaly's not. No, but Koulibaly, I don't think was ever particularly quick, was he? I'm not really sure. Was Koulibaly ever particularly fast? Fuck knows. But yeah, Mendy, Koulibaly, and Ziyech look like they've all got Saudi offers on the table. Ziyech should be pretty close to moving to Saudi. Maybe next week, or certainly in the next 10 days or so. And let's wait and see what Mendy and Koulibaly say to the proposals that they've got on the table. But let's move away from this stuff now, people. Let's move away from that. And let's move on to news about goalkeepers. Let's discuss goalkeepers, guys. So, obviously, it was reported in Damartio, which is a very reliable outlet in Italy, that Chelsea are out of the race for Andre Onana, which is kind of mad. Chelsea would plan to make a proposal for Maignan, but AC Milan don't even plan to evaluate any proposals. So, yeah, it looks like, according to Damartio, Chelsea are out of the race. So maybe Inter Milan are asking too much money. I don't think they've suddenly changed their mind and don't like the player. I think it's clear that, if Chelsea are genuinely out of the race because they don't think the money that's being talked about represents good value for a deal, or they're using this as a negotiating tactic where they threaten to pull out the race or fake pull out of the race to then maybe try and get to lower their price slightly, because we know they're in a difficult financial situation. So maybe there's a little bit of gamesmanship taking place here. I don't really know. It's interesting because I don't know why Chelsea would legitimately put out of the race. Now I fully get it. I'm not here for us just spending over the odds and just chucking any old money at a goalkeeper just to sort it out. But at the same time, even if we generally like Onana and, he's maybe our only target in goal, then maybe we should go and do it. I think surely there can be some sort of agreement made in terms of, Yes, Inter Milan want a decent fee, but we've got the likes of Koulibaly, we've got Lukaku, we've got Edouard Mendy, maybe that we can offer them as part of the deal. Now, I know they're difficult to negotiate with. Italian clubs always, try and take liberties and things like that. But I don't know. It certainly is an interesting one. It really is an interesting one. I'm not really sure what the situation is there, but I mean, this would indicate that unless we've got someone else in mind, that all things will be pointing to Kepa being number one again next season, and maybe we just go and sign a number two, or maybe we use Slanino. I don't really know, but I mean, guys, are you surprised that Chelsea are potentially out of the race? Because it doesn't really make sense. Dream striker for Chelsea to get Harry Kane, not going to happen. Can't believe we're buying Kai Havertz. Yeah, enjoy that, John. Look, I don't know where these people are getting these things from. Yeah, it's been one bad season. It's not all his fault. It's not all on him. And, I hope when we get back to doing well, that all you guys that are being, Todd, shit, these guys are shit owners. But that's what I suppose that you won't be celebrating a success if it comes, because you've been battering them from day one. Yeah, I know. I was so gassed when I seen that video where he phones up JT asking for the number 26. I'm like, yeah, this guy's going to be it. This guy's going to be it. And it's not really worked out too well. Don't give respect to his... He's not been good enough. Good riddance to Ziyech. Yeah, Ziyech needs to go. Bro, who in their right mind would fire the best coach in the world? No, look, this is what people don't understand, again, is that Tuchel was not sacked for footballing reasons. Tuchel was removed from his position because his visions didn't align with the visions that the owners had in terms of the direction they were looking to take the club. Tuchel very much just literally only wants to concentrate on the football side of things, just do the football stuff. Whereas these owners want to adopt a more collaborative approach where the manager is more involved with other things. And Tuchel doesn't like that. So, they didn't agree on in the direction the club was going and kind of, the roles and whatnot. So he was moved on. I haven't got an issue with that. Owners like to bring in their own people. Also, if the manager and the ownership aren't aligned in their vision for the club, then that's just a no-go from day one. Get Caicedo and Palhinha. Look, Palhinha, I think, could potentially be going to West Ham, which indicates that Rice obviously definitely leaving. So they could be looking to use some of that money to sign up Declan Rice. But yeah, who's still in the race for Onana? I don't really know. I mean, there's been reported interest that Man United are in for him. But again, I don't know. I'm not too sure. By the way, people, let's keep smashing the likes on both channels. Let's get my channel up to at least 60, 70 likes if we can. And let's get Chelsea Fan TV well on its way to 100 or over 100. Let's try and get them to 150, guys. Keep smashing the likes. Hover over that thumb button. Give it a little click. It's free. It takes seconds and it massively helps out both channels. It spreads the streams far and wide, gets more people involved. Really helps in the YouTube algorithm. So, guys, please do smash the likes on both channels. If you haven't done so already, would greatly, greatly appreciate it, people. And whilst we're at it, make sure you show some love and subscribe to both channels as well, people. I'm going to post the links to both channels in the description again. Make sure you show some love to my channel, looking to get to 4,000 subscribers before the season starts. And make sure you show some love to Chelsea Fan TV on our road to 200,000 subscribers, guys. Make sure you show both channels some love. It's been great in the chat so far tonight. Keep smashing those likes. Make sure you subscribe to both channels, people, and show us some love. Controversial, but I give Pulisic another chance. Mate, respectfully, absolutely not. Chelsea can't go aggressive in the market. Mistake to do so will lead to a bust. No, we're not going to have financial problems like that. We'll get Onana, Koulibaly plus cash. I don't know. As soon as PL teams come calling for a player, the price doubles. Yeah, it seems to do so. Like, if someone from Germany was interested in Onana, you could guarantee maybe it would be maybe like £40 million. But obviously that just doesn't seem to be the case here. Kepa isn't the answer going forward. No, Kepa's not the answer going forward. But look, ultimately, if we can't get who we want in goal, and it gives us more money to go and spend on the attacking, on a centre forward and the and midfield, then I'd rather prioritise centre of midfield and attack over goalkeeper. Yes, we need all three, but ultimately midfield and attack are far greater priority than a goalkeeper is. And I think ultimately we could get by with Kepa for one more season. I do believe that. Whilst obviously it's not ideal and it's not optimal, I think we could certainly get by with Kepa for one more year if necessary. Most of the players that we're signing were trash. Look, mate, how can you be writing off players after they've been here for some of them been here for 3 months? I mean, seriously. Slonina has a bright future, but that's my look. I think he does have a bright future, but again, let's see how he does when he plays regular senior football. It's the outgoings to save Chelsea's transfer. Look, the outgoings are going to be really important, but we don't have to sell first to spend. That isn't the case at all. Yeah, I think it could be. I think it really could be potentially tactics on Onana, because I find it strange that we pursue a player for this long and then just pull out, because of the asking price, when it seems like there haven't really necessarily been any negotiations. So yeah, that for me, that doesn't really make too much sense necessarily. So I think it could be a negotiating tactics. Yeah, Arsenal, thank you, Arsenal. Thank you, Arsenal. Not only did you bottle the league, you've now taken one of our players off us and virtually funding the majority of the Moises Caicedo deal. So Arsenal, we're very thankful. Thank you for that. All you lot hating on the owners now, you better not be the ones raving about him when we start winning. Oh, they absolutely will be, but I'll be keeping receipts. I'll be keeping receipts on those that have been criticising the owners, and I'll be bringing those back out. Yeah, need to get a big. Yeah, look, Lukaku, we need to get him out. Let's see what we can do about that. What else have we got here? Why should Tuchel do 3 jobs? No, it's not. It's not about him doing 3 jobs. They just want a more collaborative approach. And look, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with the way that Tuchel wanted to do things. But ultimately, you have to be aligned as manager and owner in the direction the club's going. And if you're not, then unfortunately the manager has to go. That's how it is. Do you understand how this multi-club network Chelsea are pursuing? Do you understand this multi-club? Yeah, multi-club network is literally like the City Group. You buy stakes, you buy other clubs around Europe or around the world, and you obviously loan your players out to those clubs. You can somewhat control their development, control their minutes, and ultimately, if those clubs produce good players as well, then you've got kind of first dibs on signing those players. That's kind of a very basic way of how it works. He could be potentially, but ultimately, he's not been the player for Chelsea, so we have to move on. I have a feeling Tommy T will be back to the Prem one day. I would absolutely think so. I think there's no reason why a manager of Tuchel's quality won't be back in the Premier League again and won't be a Premier League manager again at some point. No, I would say absolutely not. Absolutely not. We need to get, what have we got here? We need to get Osimhen in. He's everything we need. Apparently, Napoli are now accepting bids above 120 million euros. Still, it's a lot of money. It is a lot of money. And I don't know what we'd do if we could really afford it, if it's the right way we do it. It's done. It's the end of our club. No, it absolutely isn't the end of our club. Everyone needs to calm down. We need to go for a goalkeeper. Kepa being number 1 means we finish the race. No, I don't think it does. Look, Kepa, for what it's worth, I actually think Kepa is a lot better goalkeeper than he gets given credit for. Yes, he makes mistakes. Yes, he's not amazing, but he had a very good season last season by his standards. He absolutely did. So this idea that he's absolutely shocking is just not true. Yes, he's got weaknesses and deficiencies, but he's not some terrible goalkeeper. That is absolutely not the case. He's not a terrible goalkeeper. This American billionaire trying to interfere. That again, this is just not true. This is just not true. Yeah, I've seen that Joao Felix followed Galatasaray on Instagram. I don't really know what happened there. Mate, he isn't that. I'm not saying that I want him to be the number 1. I'm just saying that he's not as bad as people make him out to be. He really isn't. He has no idea how different of a sport American. Look, football is different. Of course it is. Look, I don't understand that. Honestly, look, I'm not the biggest Kepa fan, but this idea that he's absolutely shocking is just not true. Look, he's not a top level goalkeeper. I wouldn't say he's not a goalkeeper that's going to win you the Premier League, but he's not shocking. And all I'm saying is that, like, if we can't find a suitable goalkeeper on the market, then I wouldn't say it's a complete disaster if we have to go with Kepa again. That's all I'm saying. Arsenal are our little brother. They always take our rejects. Yeah, no, respect to Arsenal. Respect. Our players go there and do an agent sabotage job. Their players come to us and win trophies. That's how it works. That's how it works. Yeah, whatever. He didn't try. I mean, you guys can think whatever you want. I mean, look, I've got my opinions. I know the truth on the matter. And if you guys want to believe what you want to believe, then that's cool. No worries. What else have we got? No, Osimhen again, not bad. Mate, Bodie's not Bodie's not paying me anything. It's just like this utter nonsense and conspiracy shit that people are spouting. It just isn't true. Like, you don't have to like them, but don't make shit up. Some people, yeah, I know, yes, it's mad, it's mad. Definite overreaction on Kepa. A new keeper is needed. No, absolutely, a new keeper is needed. No one is disputing that a new keeper is needed. No two ways about it. Never mind that Arsenal finished 10 places above you. Yeah, of course they did, but still, they didn't win anything. Absolutely. I've fully invested in the Mudryk stocks. I have fully invested in those Mudryk stocks. No two ways about it. I'm well invested in him. I think he's got phenomenal work rate. I think he's a really talented boy. He's excited. I'm excited by him. You know, there's a lot of ability there, a lot of talent. It just needs coaching and it just needs nurturing, and he needs a consistent run of games. But the work rate's absolutely there. The desire to do well there, the abilities there, the talents there, as I said. So yeah, for me, there's no reason why Mudryk can't do well. And I think with Pochettino in charge next season, it's going to be really good for his development. But it's a big season for him next season. What Arsenal player would I take? Probably Saka or Odegaard. One of those two. Saka or Odegaard would be my choice. What have we got here? Yes, up the Chelsea. My question is, I think he can. Of course, time will tell, but I think he can. Hopefully, Poch turns him into the next Son. Let's wait and see. He's been here 4 months. 4 months he's been here. People forget, he's a young kid. He was playing in the Ukrainian league. He hadn't played any football since November when he arrived. Look, you can't say someone's flopped after being here for 3 months or so and not having a consistent run of games. So let's just reserve our judgment slightly here. We had problems scoring, not defending. This is the point. The reason why we were so shit last season is because we just couldn't score any fucking goals. We weren't letting loads of goals in. We really weren't. That is reality. We weren't letting that many goals in. The defense was at least it was within the top 5 best defenses in the league. Have we thought about going after João Palhinha of Fulham? Look, I don't think there doesn't specifically seem to be any links with João Palhinha of Fulham. But again, let's wait and see. Let's see how the market evolves. But Chelsea's obviously priority in midfield is absolutely to get the Moises Caicedo deal done, and then we will look to move from there. What else have we got? Our defense is pretty good. We have to focus our efforts on the midfield and forwards. Absolutely agree. I hope we do. I hope we do. I mean, that's just utter nonsense. Right, let's move away from goalkeepers then, guys. Look, I mean, again, ultimately, I think the reality of the situation for me is that this could be some sort of potential power play or negotiating tactic that Chelsea are trying to implement here, or it could just be genuinely that Inter are asking too much money for what Chelsea value their player at. They're going to be too difficult to negotiate with. We're going to go away and look elsewhere, maybe, or make do with what we've got for one more season. I'm not sure, but let's wait and see what happens on this one. But reportedly, according to reports coming out of Italy, is that Andre Onana and Chelsea are out of the race for him, which I think is a bit strange. Broja is back now. He's back training. He'll take part in pre-season. He should be ready to hit the ground running next season for sure. Brighton play a position-based game, so you'd expect their midfielders to make less interceptions than the likes of Fulham. Yeah, true. We have too many chances not to convert. Yeah, we're just not good enough to convert. But because it's to do with the UEFA coefficient, and basically because they're switching to a new Champions League model next season, it now means because there's going to be more teams in the Champions League that we get an extra space because the Premier League get an extra space because of how well they've done in Europe over the last few years that they take into account with the coefficient. Inter would be shooting themselves in the foot. Yeah, they absolutely would be, but ultimately they can go fuck themselves as far as I'm concerned. I don't know I want Chelsea to win next season, but I'm scared. What do you mean you don't want them to win? Like, everyone's worried. It can't be as bad as this season. Hopefully, we don't really know what we're going to get. But let's wait and see. I think we can win next season, but it would be a big ask. You can sign 2 players simultaneously. I'd sign Caicedo and Harry Kane if I could, if that was possible. People who say Madrid flops, no patience in football. Exactly. This is my point. No patience. No patience. Still waiting for the show. Yeah, I mean, I'm here for it. I'm waiting for it, but it doesn't really look like it's going to happen, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame. What's up, my guy? Thank you for tuning in. Big up. Am I the only Chelsea fan excited for next season? Poch could take us to the very top. Look, I think going to the very top, I think we need to calm down slightly there, but he'll certainly improve us. He'll get an identity. He'll get us playing better. So let's kind of wait and see what does happen on that front. But yeah, I'm certainly excited. I also believe in Mudryk, absolutely. I'm not a fan of Mudryk, to be honest. He seems lost when play. I think that will play with change of time, absolutely. Well, top 5 gets Champions League. So yeah, top 5 should be the aim. We should be aiming to get back into Champions League football. No 2 ways about it. We should absolutely be aiming to get back into Champions League football. No 2 ways about it. So yeah, for me, I'd sign for a 5th place now. No denying it. Absolutely would. How many injured? I've got no idea. Hopefully not too many. Hopefully not too many. Just read somewhere that Koulibaly is close to joining Al Hilal. Look, they've got offers on the table. Again, I don't know how close they are to accepting them or anything like that. But yeah, that is true. That is true. No 2 ways about it. That there are offers on the table from Saudi Arabia for Koulibaly. I don't know how close he is to accepting it, or if he would. Even if we get a League Cup, it will be a starting point. Absolutely. Even if we get 5th or 6th, I'm happy as a massive. Yeah, I agree. Also agree on that. Criminal that Neves is going to Saudi at 26. Top 10 would be in it. Well, yeah, of course it would be, but we've got to be aiming higher than that. Saudi Arabia ruining football, maybe, but it's helping us out big time. So I'm not too fussed currently on that. By the way, people keep smashing the likes, guys. Let's run these likes up. People keep running the likes up. Mate, I'm not a journalist. I'm just a Chelsea fan. Simple as that. And sources that I bring up on Twitter are all kind of respected journalists in the game, guys that I trust, guys that are proven to be right on numerous occasions. These are not my sources. Make that very clear. I'm just a fan. But yeah, the sources that bring information from are the sources that are renowned as the most reliable, the best sources. People aren't always going to be right, but this is the information that I'm using. This is not my information. I just want to be very clear. These are not my sources. Big up. Thank you. Need to get our 5th spot. Yeah, agreed. We need that. Yeah, it does a little bit, but I think it's way more serious, and they're here to stay. The caliber of player that they're attracting, is massive. It is massive. No 2 ways about it. I think it is here to stay, and they're serious about getting the Saudi League a much more accomplished league, a much more established league. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens on that one. What else have we got here? Love Chelsea all the way. Yeah, I mean, love Chelsea, but you've got a Ronaldo picture. I can't read what the writing says. Maybe trust in Poch, absolutely. We have to get European football next season. No 2 ways about it. No 2 ways. If Chelsea wants to buy number 10 player to cover Nkunku, which one would you prefer? Gabri, I like Vega. Rayan Cherki is a good player at Lyon. I don't know if he's for sale, really. I'm not sure how interested the club are in him. Chelsea will get a proper striker. I'm pretty convinced on that. Obviously, negotiations will take a little bit of time still. But yeah, I'm confident that we will get another centre forward. Preseason will tell us a lot. We must have a good settled one, no dramas. 100%. That's so crucial. There are stories in Saudi saying Al Hilal will offer. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's true. Vinicius Jr. has just taken the number 7 shirt at Real Madrid. He's their future. He's not going to go to Saudi. Look, they are absolutely they absolutely agree on that. That's exactly what they're doing. What else have we got? We need to buy a goalkeeper and a good left wing. Yeah, I would agree. We still have to appreciate how well Chelsea are trying to trim the club. It's taken most clubs multiple transfer windows to trim, but it's looking like we're doing it in one. Well, yeah, we've got so much. I don't know what it means for that. I'm not sure. We have Nkunku now. Havertz can jog on. Yeah. There's new Koulibaly news is there? Or just now? Is there new Koulibaly news? Let's have a quick look. There is new news. New Koulibaly news. Apologies in the chat if I disrespected someone slightly. Let's get this new Koulibaly news out, people. In the chat, apologies if because I didn't see, obviously I haven't been looking at Twitter, but looks like we're getting closer. Koulibaly. Is this it here? Let me bring it up, guys. So, Kalidou Koulibaly is getting very close to Saudi Arabia, with Al Hilal pushing and wanting to close a deal as soon as possible. Koulibaly is open to joining. So, guys, as we were saying earlier, there are proposals on the table. It looks like we've got some slightly breaking news that Kalidou Koulibaly is getting very close to a move to Saudi Arabia. Mad. The Saudi-Chelsea link-up that no one thought we needed, but it is the link-up we all need. Absolutely. Looks like it could be happening then, guys. It's gathering pace. Big up from Brazil or Spain. I can't read that language. Something to do with Chelsea. But yeah, big up for tuning in. Unfortunately, can't read it. Very close to Saudi. And Nkunku better not start up front versus Liverpool. No, I wouldn't have thought he would. I think he's a good player. Decent player, potential. We'll need time to adjust. We'll need patience from the fans. What we got here? Saudi saving us 500k a week on wages. Thank you, Saudis. I think I might be suffering from lack of Chelsea, but I'm genuinely looking forward to the new season, new manager. Yeah, look, I am as well. You've got to approach every new season with optimism. No two ways about it. You absolutely have to approach the new season with optimism, people. We have until the end of the window to comply with FFP. Yep. So what sources you back Todd Boehly? Well, no sources are backing Todd Boehly. I'm backing Todd Boehly off my own thoughts and my own opinions. And, until I've been given a reason not to back him, I'll continue to back him. Yes, they've made mistakes, but ultimately, I can see the ambition there. I can see the intent, the direction they want to take the club in. So, yeah, I'm on board. And ultimately, as part of the ownership deal, they're here for 10 years minimum anyway. So there's no point getting up, angry about it. They're not going anywhere for at least 10 years. So yeah, it is what it is. If we could get takers, let's see. Can I be mod? I don't know. I've got the ability to do that, so I can't answer that question. Mount and Havertz not good enough for Chelsea, maybe. That might say that. I'm not sure. Hope we get at least 30 million euros. Yeah, maybe. Koulibaly looks like he's off. Yeah, exactly. People were hammering Boehly for being out in Saudi and not really seemingly sorting anything out. This is what this guy was looking like he was sorting out, forming relationships with Saudi. It's big. It's big from him. Koulibaly's not awful, but he just obviously hasn't worked out at Chelsea. If we can get him off, then great. If Koulibaly goes, hopefully Chalobah doesn't. Yeah, I think if Koulibaly looking like he's going into Saudi, it makes sense. How many outgoings are going to end up leaving? I don't know. I could easily see maybe 10 to 12. Maybe 10 to 12 people. Liverpool, tough game to start, agreed. We need to get the best out of Carney, Santos and Cassidy, agreed there. Silva won't go to Saudi. Well, certainly not yet anyway. Is there any chance both Chalobah and... absolutely. There's a chance for sure. I mean, Chalobah's in Milan at the moment on holiday, kind of scouting out the place, seeing what it would be like to potentially live there. But yeah, let's wait and see what happens on that. Are you concerned about Harry Kane's? No. Look, Chelsea aren't going to get Harry Kane, but no, I'm not concerned about his age. He's still got 4 years at the top easily. Cost 1 year on the contract, but Harry Kane's is the closest you can get as a guarantee to goals. So yeah, Nicholas Jackson is now a priority signing. He's virtually done. He will be a Chelsea player. I'm excited for it. I don't know an awful lot about the player, but I'm here for it. Let's see how he does. I'm worried he'll flourish with Arsenal. What does it say about us? Well, look, again, it's not worked out at Chelsea. It doesn't look like it's going to work out. Ultimately, it's partly down to the club, and it's obviously a lot down to the player as well. But it is what it is. He's had plenty of chances, multiple positions, multiple different managers, and it's just not worked out. Time to move on. When Rowan makes mistakes, say nothing. Well, exactly. It's double standards. We need a goalkeeper like Onana. Yeah, look, again, let's see what happens. Big up, big up, big up. There's a reason Roman trusts Bowley. Yeah, exactly. Roman choose it. Yeah, for sure. I mean, everyone's got favourite players. You don't have to have a favourite player. Ultimately, it's all about the team. That is the reality of the situation. It is all about the team, guys. That's the most important thing at the end of the day. Support the team, not individual players. Why don't we gamble on signing someone like Tony, even though he won't play until January? Because what we're going to do until January with no centre forward. I mean, maybe that could be the plan, that we use Nkunku there a bit. We use Jackson, Broja, try and get to January, and then we sign Tony then. I mean, I think that's a possibility, but I'd say very outside chance. Saudi League really taking off. One odd one though. Government chooses. Yeah, no, it's a little bit strange. A little bit strange. What will the players agree to go to Saudi though? Well, I think Ziyech is very close. I mean, it looks like also Koulibaly's close. Mendy's got an offer on the table. Aubameyang potentially might go there as well. We need a goalkeeper like Onana with good mindset. We have good owners. He was just too aggressive in the last window. Who's the owner of the channel? Well, obviously, for my channel, my own personal channel is me. Chelsea Fan TV is not me. That's not my channel. I'm just part of it. Once Chelsea start winning, I hope we remember how. Yeah, I know this is the thing. You know, as soon as we start winning again, people won't criticise Bowley. They simply won't. We need to sign either Latado or Kolo Muani. I like Kolo Muani, but again, expensive. Is it possible for Bowley to sell before 10 years? No idea at all. But I don't know why we're thinking about that. Just over a year into it, doesn't make sense. No, I don't know. Do you trust we'll get more midfielders? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can do. Is Pulisic going to be here, or will he be a late signing somewhere else? Look, Pulisic has got interest from Italy. He's got interest from Italy. So let's wait and see. Let's wait and see how he does. How he does there. We should compete with Newcastle to sign Barella. I don't think Newcastle read that in the race. There's interest there, but if you read the article when it came out, it didn't really say that Newcastle were actually that close. I think I read they can't sell Tony. Yeah, I don't think Chelsea can buy Tony in the summer for him to join in January. I'm not sure that's going to happen. I really need to see Broja playing next season. Yeah, he will definitely play next season. Next week going to be far. I expect a lot of news. Yep, latest incoming news. Not much really. Nicholas Jackson will be done next week. Chelsea are going to offer a bid for Caicedo next week. In terms of incomings, that's really the only information at this point in time. We can't have Mount leaving. No, absolutely. I agree on that. I really want up the Blues. Yes, up the Blues. In my opinion, outgoing should be Mendy, Koulibaly, Cover, Mace, Kai, Oba, Ziyech, Gallagher, potentially Cucurella and Aspie. Yeah, maybe. I don't disagree with a lot of those outgoings. I bet Enzo and Caicedo. Yeah, the Enzo Caicedo pivot will be absolutely mad. Why do you care about expense? Not like you're paying for them. No, I'm not paying for them. I just think we could use that money better elsewhere potentially. Yeah, I mentioned this earlier, but I'll mention it again. So basically, obviously, the deal with 3 runs out at the end of this month. 3-year deal not being renewed. It was worth around 40 million a season. Chelsea had a deal in place with a crypto firm, but that fell through last minute due to us not qualifying for the Champions League. Allianz had offered us £20 million a season, which is not really that much, half of what the 3-year deal was worth. Chelsea were looking at a potential deal with a controversial online gambling firm Stake for 1-year contracts worth £40 million a season, tie them over until we hopefully get back in the Champions League and then have a better pick of sponsors or sponsors wanting to pay us more money. Obviously, it's received backlash because of obviously gambling implications. Chelsea have been very against gambling with campaigns they've been doing. Obviously, kind of for Muslims, it's against religion to gamble. Chelsea recently held an open iftar at the grounds. It kind of makes a mockery of that. So, yeah, the Chelsea supporters trust have written to the board to explain that the upset from the fans about this, and we're waiting to hear back from them. That's basically the situation. Reports saying Arsenal's still in the race for Caicedo. I'm not sure they are. I think it's for us to lose, I think, on Caicedo. We've got buy-in from the player side, so let's wait and see what happens on that front. We're going to have to sell Havertz and Mount before we bid for Caicedo, or we're bidding regardless what happens. No, I think we're going to bid regardless of what happens. I agree on that. Is there any way to join Chelsea Fan TV? If vacancies come up, then probably. But right now, we've got a settled team, so I would imagine, I would say not right now. No. Get the best of the best, like Osimhen and Caicedo. Let's wait and see what happens on Osimhen. Caicedo is a gem of a player, perfect cancer replacement, and can also improve Enzo's game and allow him to flourish and become one of the best midfielders in the world. Look, I'll be disappointed. Of course, no player's bigger than the club, but I think it would be a massive shame that it would have come to that. I think he could be a really useful squad player, find his form again, be an important part of the first team. But ultimately, no player's bigger than the club. If he doesn't want to sign an extension, then we have to sell him now. Simple as that. No, the EFL is. The EFL is, I think. Who do you think the marquee signing will be this season? This season for Chelsea, I think it will be Moises Caicedo. Report Tierney likely to stay at Arsenal, then Newcastle will go. Yeah, maybe. Chilwell's not going anywhere, by the way. The amount of money we're getting from Mount Havertz is like winning the lottery. Agreed. What do you think of the Vlahovic? Look, I think I like Vlahovic, but again, I probably prefer Lautaro Martinez. But not a bad player. Good ability there. Again, could be expensive. It surprises me. No links or news about Aspie. No. Only way Arsenal get Caicedo is if Rice falls through. I agree on that. I do agree on that front. But yeah, guys, unless there's any more last-minute news that's come out recently, it looks like a good place to round this one out, people. We've got through a lot. Saudi Arabia helping out Chelsea. Looks like Koulibaly is very close to join the team. So what we've got here. Some of it's selling on spaces today that a lot of business depends on the outgoings. Yeah, possibly. Let's wait a bit here. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Massively appreciate it. We got through loads of news today. Next week's going to be a big week. Lots of exciting stuff happening. Thank you all for tuning in so much. Thank you, everyone, for getting involved in the chat. Massively appreciate you all getting involved and interacting with me. Makes things a lot easier. Yes, we have some agreements, some disagreements. It's all part of it. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Make sure you smash the likes on the way out. Subscribe to both channels if you haven't done so already. I've just posted the link of my channel in the chat. And for the last time, I'll also post Chelsea Fan TV link in the chat as well. Make sure you show some love to both channels, guys. Subscribe. And also make sure you smash the likes on the stream on the way out. Let's get these likes out. Thank you so much for tuning in, people. A big week coming up for Chelsea next week in the market. Let's stay tuned for loads of positive news. I'll be back tomorrow. Make sure you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care. Up the Chelsea. Peace out.